Oh man, we got to talk about old Timmy Tim again today. I know. We're all pretty sick of this guy at this point, but he just keeps stepping in it, and he stepped in it again. In terms of Tesla, which is why you saw Elon Musk in that first clip. I'll play the clip of what he had to say, because this guy, and I'm so, I gotta say this, I'm so happy that this guy is not our vice president right now. Could you imagine having to deal with Tim Walz and Kamala Harris on a daily basis? Well, I guess we wouldn't deal with them on a daily basis because they'd probably be in hideout the same way Biden was and never talk to reporters. And even when they did, it was all scripted. But goodness gracious. My goodness. But anyway, I'm not going to keep you guys long here with this one today. With that being said, let's dive in.
Saying on my phone, I don't know, some of you know this on the iPhone, they've got that little stock app. I added Tesla to it to give me a little boost during the day. 225 and dropping. So, and if you own one, we're not blaming you. You can take dental floss and pull the Tesla thing off, and take out, just telling you.
Well, joke's on him because Tesla has actually been bouncing back. The Tesla stock has actually been bouncing back. And these guys are bozos because any smart investor would just made a lot of money off of Tesla. So to all the smart investors out there, I guess send Tim Walz a thank you, and to the Democrat Party a thank you, because they just made a lot of folks a lot of money. You tanked the stock and everybody knew it was going to rebound because it was completely undervalued. It was just some childish rage going on. So yeah, great job, guys. You made some folks some more money. Congratulations. You played yourself. He also played himself because of this reason right here. Check out what Kevin O'Leary had to say on CNN.
I think go back to point one. When you set a car on fire, you should go to jail. You're a criminal.
Any car,
I don't think we have to talk about it in any other context. And all those cars have cameras in them, and those dealerships have cameras. You're beyond being stupid when you do that. You're going to go to jail, and you now have a government that just got their mandate. They can't wait to find idiots that do this. You're going to spend 5 to 20 years in prison. If they get them on terrorism, which I think is a stretch, they will have no parole, no shortened sentence. They'll rot in hell in prison for 20 years. And frankly, as far as I'm concerned, that's okay. Breaking in, shooting a car, setting on fire, nothing to do with the politics, nothing to do with Tesla. You are a criminal, and you should go to jail.
What about the broader question about the protest factor? I mean, you heard Tim Walz.
What protest? You're a criminal.
I'm talking about Tim Walz and his comments about the Tesla stock. He says it gives him a boost to see that stock going down.
That poor guy didn't check his portfolio and his own pension plan for state. It's beyond stupid what he did. He's talking down a 3.5% weighting in his own pension plan. I mean, what's the matter with that guy? He doesn't check the well-being of his own constituents in his state. I mean, that's their investment fund. Point, what a bozo.
What a bozo. You're delighted in the fact that a stock that your state pension plan, or that your state pension is partially dependent upon, not completely obviously, but your state pension, part of that is based on Tesla stock because it purchased Tesla stock. You're clapping that is declining, and so goes your state pension plan with it. Make that make sense. It's the same thing with Tim Walz. This guy doesn't make sense.
Look, Tim Walz is a complete moron to me. I have to be very honest, and I'm not surprised why the American people did not choose him. Nothing against the vice president. With that said, Elon Musk employs 80,000+ Americans. Most of them are working class people. The implications of the stock, let's say this were to continue on for another year, so I'm just throwing out a hypothetical. Will the company at some point have to decrease its workplace? Most of those people, I would imagine, probably vote for Democrats, at least some of them. So now you're impacting people who likely share your worldview because you disagree with Elon Musk. Don't buy the car. Just like those guys are saying, let's protest Anheuser-Busch, et cetera. We're just not going to buy their beer. I'm okay with that. But destroying public property, there is no place for that. I agree with Kevin. Lock them up and set an example that this is not what we're going to tolerate in this country.
And of course, Abby Phillips goes into completely glazing over the fact that they're burning cars and burning Tesla stations, and she goes into, well, what about the broader aspect of the protest? Well, he just said you can protest, but she continues to go back to that because, of course, she doesn't want to anger her own base of people because they're raving lunatics and can't take any type of criticism whatsoever. But anyway, it's the reason why CNN is absolutely tanking. So, I mean, who cares, right? Who cares? Yeah, I would 1000% agree. If these folks were doing what we had done to Bud Light, I wouldn't care. They have every right to. We did it to Bud Light. I'm about what's fair, and that's fair. We didn't like what Bud Light did, so we stopped buying it, and still don't buy it to this day. As a matter of fact, if I see somebody with a Bud Light, I'm gonna have to roast you. Okay? Nobody that I hang around with can have no Bud Light around me. Absolutely not. Even the White House, Caroline Leavitt has commented on this situation. Check it out.
One more on Tesla, Caroline. Tim Walz, Governor Walz, saying last night he frequently checks Tesla stock. In doing so, to quote, give me a little boost during the day. How should Americans view politicians who take pride in the downfall of an American car company?
I think that's quite sad, but I think Governor Walz unfortunately is living a sad existence after his devastating defeat on November 5th.
Facts. Can't argue with that. This guy is sad. But, of course, after all of the criticism, you know what he did. Because these people don't stand on a fucking thing. They don't stand on... They talk all this yip yap and jaw jack and can be moved with the slightest blow of a wind. These people don't stand on anything. They go wherever they feel like their supporters are going, and they can garner some type of support. They don't stand for anything. So, of course, he folded. Check it out.
This guy bugs me in a way that is probably unhealthy. And but I have to be careful about being a smartass. I was making a joke. These people have no sense of humor. They are the most literal people. But my point was they're all mad, and I, said something I didn't, probably shouldn't have about a company. He is agreed. So I make the case. They're all butthurt about the Tesla thing, but they don't care the disrespect they have shown to employees at the Minneapolis VA who care for our veterans, and they fire them. They don't care. So we will have the conversation about efficiency in government and about doing that, but none of us believe for a second they're thinking about this. Oh, we fired everybody that's dealing with Ebola. And then he went into the Oval Office wearing a hat. I don't ever want to hear anybody talk about decorum and respect or that. Wearing a hat, coming in there, richest man in the world. Again, this maybe is just me. If I'm the richest man in the world, I'm like out on the streets handing out the money. It'd be fun as hell just to help people out. Go help people out. Not this guy. Not this.
Well, first off, this guy isn't very intelligent. Just because you're the richest man in the world on paper doesn't mean your bank account says that you're the richest person in the world, especially when you own businesses that are, titans the way that Elon's businesses are. His net worth is tied into the businesses. If the businesses disappeared, so does a huge chunk, huge majority of his net worth. Okay. And a lot of rich folks understand that having money sitting in the bank is actually detrimental. There's something called inflation. So you don't want money just sitting around, especially when you have a lot of it. You put it into things. So yeah, this guy, anyway. And he wouldn't be doing that anyway, because Tim Walz is a decently wealthy man. He could stand on the corner and hand out $10 bills, $20 bills to folks if he wanted to. Make no mistake about it. I don't know this. Matter of fact, let's quickly look up his net worth really quick, because I'm genuinely curious. This guy talks about, I'd want to hand out money. Okay, well, let's see here. Tim Walz net worth. Let's look this Kamala Vice President. It's less than you think. Earns a 6-figure salary as a governor. Tim Walz's net worth is estimated between $117,000 and $330,000. Okay, so not crazy, not a millionaire, but hey, 117, 330. You still could hand out $10 bills to the total of $200, $500, right? That's not gonna break your bank. Okay, so go hand out some money, Tim Walz. Go hand out some money. Nobody said you had to hand out millions of dollars. $10 here, $10 there could help people with with gas, right? Because gas prices are coming down. So $10 could actually do a little something to the gas tank. It'll get you to payday. Bare minimum, it'll get you to payday. So yeah, why doesn't Tim Walz just hand out $10 bills on the corner? Because it's all talk. It's just all talk. All talk. That's all they are. All talk. All talk. But anyway, I just wanted to expose this guy for being the fraud that he actually is. These folks, like I said, they don't stand on anything. If they did, he just would have stood on business and said, I said what I meant and I meant what I said. But instead, he folded like a wet noodle, piece of paper out, whatever you want to say. Okay. Anyway, thanks for tuning in as always. Peace and love. I'm out.